screen, and I'll hold it up, and
Mhm.
I'll let you hit the go live.
Okay. Hey, everybody. It is Luna. I am here for take 2 of my show that was supposed to happen yesterday, but there were so many bugs that, I had a little hissy fit and just abruptly ended the show. But that's okay because I'm here to bring all of the videos that I had lined up for you in a take 2. So, welcome to Thirst Trap News. I'm Luna Lopez, where you have to believe everything I say because I am beautiful. Have you guys noticed how good this video looks? Let me see if I can recenter myself in the camera. I don't know if it's the opposite thing going on. Nope. Yep. See, wrong way. There we go. Is this better? Going once, going twice. Oh my gosh, the delay on this is crazy. Okay. So, the close up now has my Venmo right here zoomed in too far. You see that Venmo at Thirst Trap News? Donate. Because we just upgraded the cameras and lighting, and Mama got some bills to pay. If you're interested in having a private chat with me or video chat, we can do that. All it takes is a donation right here to at Thirst Trap News on Venmo. Doesn't matter the donation, but you'll get, let's say, $1 a minute out of me. How about that? You give me a $20 donation, I'll talk to you on video for 20 minutes. All right, here's what we got going for you. Coming up, we've got red pilling a gay Spanish dude. Don't tell me Happy Pride Month. Liberals have good hearts. Psych. Get her half naked. Sleeper cells be scheming. Jews in Bryant Park. 2 plus 2 equals racist. Chief lying bitch. AI catfished my daughter. Your spirit at conception. How I used to argue. My beautiful, big, beautiful overtime. Why do we do these incomplete sentences? Big, beautiful overtime. Attending Bible study. Cute ass dog video. K-Fed is worried about Britney. Finally. What the fuck is Kim K selling now? Grape Baja Blast review. Oh, great. Charms, the song. I will say, in typical colored people tradition, I am 2 hours late to my show because, you know, the queen, everything has to be right for the queen. And I did give you my jokes twice. And the grape thing, yeah, I do love grape. I love watermelon and fried chicken wings. Like, I can't help it. It's just like in the genetics, you know? Some things you just can't take out of the colored girl, you know? I hope you guys don't mind. I'm going to be. What is up with the view on this?
So this is formatted for full video for basically everything except Instagram.
Yeah, so
Instagram doesn't compress it.
so Instagram's not compressing my videos. So
this is for full 1080, 1920 to go on YouTube and any other format.
well, I wonder if it's just our screen. If whoever's on the live with me, can you tell me what you see? Because to me, everything is like cut off and off center.
Yeah, it's not compressing it.
So I'm just going to have to scoot over this way so you guys can see me. And then I'm going to have to scoot over the other way.
Got this delay. There you go.
Ta-da. All right. Now the only problem is, can they see my video with this format?
Everyone except Instagram, apparently.
So we have to go back to the old way of doing this.
Yeah, so you have to do everything else and then Instagram separately, apparently. Instagram's the only one that doesn't give you an option. You have to create a custom screen. Every
Why
other
don't I
one.
just record the show without doing it live and then posting it?
Yes, that would definitely be the way to go. Until I could figure something else out.
I don't understand because I see tons of videos on TikTok in full. I mean, in Instagram on full.
They're either streaming it the way we are with a sideways camera, or they're recording it and then putting it out.
What do you mean a sideways camera?
Like literally turning the camera sideways and
But
then
then,
reorienting the screen.
so why don't we try that right now?
I have to stop because it won't let you do certain things while it's basically Instagram wants to keep everything proprietary, so they don't.
So what if I just showed them my screen? Let the whole video play where they can just see the video, and then I just come back and comment on the video.
Yeah,
you guys are watching me figure out this view. We got cameras, right? And most of my followers are on Instagram, most of my active followers, because I never started a TikTok. And my Luna Lopez for Congress. I wonder if I'd be able to go live on that one. But it's just the branding. It's all the branding's all, you know. Just cover me completely. And then go back to the wide angle or the close up after. No, just cover me completely. See it.
You guys don't have.
Okay, so this isn't going to work. There has to be something. Why don't you just do the zoom like we did before? Just zoom in instead of set it where you have to redo formatting.
It's basically works for everything except Instagram. Because they refuse to adapt to full screen.
No, but there is like the full shots on Instagram. Okay, well, let's just record the show live. I mean, not live.
Hold on. I think we're live. I think just because it was the first time, maybe it took a bit. But now it has you barred out and showing you full. You don't see it on your screen, but this is what it looks like on live right now. So you're good.
Okay, so can I sit back where I'm supposed to sit?
Yes, get comfortable. Good. All right, sorry guys. Figured it out.
Oh my goodness. The pains of engineering.
You're perfect now. It just took a few minutes before we did it.
I still have to like kind of be over here. Okay. Oh my gosh. Engineering is no joke. There's like things that you will never know until you go live. There's things that you just can never, you know.
All right, you're perfect. That's what you look like.
You guys are great. Thanks for being patient. And now we're actually ready to get into the first video, I hope.
You look great.
Thank you.
Holy shit, those cameras.
Thank you. Apparently, I look great. Apparently, the cameras look great.
Wow, I'm so happy. All right.
Video engineers care about the video, not the subject in the video. All right, red pilling a gay Spanish dude. Let's watch this guy cry.
You guys don't have any idea of how much I used to hate Donald J. Trump because of the communist propaganda sponsored directly from
You guys don't know how much I love Donald Trump.
the Democratic Party. I used to support them until I saw their real faces. They don't represent Latino community. They don't represent the LGBTQ community. They have done shit for the black community. What you keep perceiving in Donald J. Trump is just a reflection of what you really are. I came into this.
I love what he just said. That's what's been happening to me all day. I can't wait to tell you about it.
Country running away from a cruel and abusive dictatorship and communism. And the day I became an American citizen, I literally was born again. And if you're
He literally was born again. Oh, that's so sweet. See, but here's the thing. This is the beautiful stories, that come in about legal immigration. And, when you go through that process, yeah, I'm sure it does feel like you just freaking won a marathon or something.
delusional hate for Donald Trump is bigger than your love for your country.
That's
you
right.
should be ashamed of yourself.
I agree.
And
my mother was an immigrant to America, and I agree with him because she came here for the life America has to offer. So to shit talk it and talk bad about the president, it's like, well, what'd you come here for? What the fuck did you even... You know what I'm saying? You should be grateful. You should be kissing the ground you walk on here.
And I'm proud to be
An American.
I'm so proud and so blessed.
Yes, baby.
We all should be so grateful to live in the United States. God bless the USA. God bless you, America. I love you so much.
Oh,
You guys don't have any idea.
We love you too, Vida Victoria official. Thank you so much for appreciating our country. Thank you so much for being grateful for everything it has to offer. And I will say this, folks. The immigration process needs to be reformed. It needs to be sped up. It needs to be streamlined. We need to get rid of the archaic system. We need to make it much faster for these people who are trying to do things the right way to get her done, because it's not fair when people can just sneak in, skip the line, never pay taxes, and send their gobs of cash home. All right, next video. Don't tell me Happy Pride Month.
Hey Pumpkin, it is once again time for my annual Don't Tell Me Happy Pride Month post.
She's hot. Now that's a stud that I could fantasize about. Most of the time they look gross. You know what I mean? You understand why they want to be a man, because they're so unattractive. No other men want them. It's I could get why you'd be a bull-dyke lesbian. But yeah, if I was a lesbian, I'd have to go with a tougher looking pretty girl, They have to look like a woman, but just like a badass. But she's cute.
Why don't you open your little earsies and listen to somebody who was actually there for the fight before it became a brand deal or a trend? Oh,
she's like if Miley Cyrus was tough, was a dyke. I like her face tats. Anyway, I can't even listen to what she's saying.
Geez, we fought the fight when it could cost you your family, your job, or your safety. Not just your spot in somebody's podcast. We just wanted basic human rights. We wanted to love who we wanted to love without being treated like a public health crisis. Nobody fought so grown men could march down the street in leather harnesses while children watched from the sidewalk. Now it's 2020.
What LGBTQ parade all of it has become about has been about normalizing a fetish, not rights for a sexual orientation. This has been all about a fetish. This has been going. They get an inch, they take 27 miles.
25 and Pride's turned into a rainbow glitter covered nightmare. Now, something that used to represent unity and resilience looks like somebody double booked a fetish convention with a family-friendly street fair. The worst part, they warned us. Conservative Christians said that this would happen. Now we've served them the I told you so card on a silver platter. They said next thing you know, they'll be marching down the street in bondage gear with a dildo stuck to their forehead. We called that fear-mongering, and now we have rainbow butt plugs, leash play, and hormones being pushed on kids whose frontal lobes haven't even finished loading yet. Let's get something clear real quick. I'm not anti-expression. I'm anti-stupidity. Hey, you want to let your freak flag fly? Fly that motherfucker. But don't do it in front of a daycare. I'll level with you. I know not every pride event is a complete sexually driven disaster, but don't play with me. You know the loudest, kinkiest corners are the ones stealing the spotlight. And if the community doesn't start policing itself and showing a little bit of dignity, self-respect, and maybe a little bit of class, we're going to end up actually losing our rights because we're doing everything they said we were going to do. Tell me happy Veterans Day, happy Memorial Day. Don't tell me happy Pride Month. Because, baby, we did not fight for years to be represented by rainbow gimp suits and hormone clinics for 13-year-olds. We were never trying to shove our sexuality down.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't you love it when you hear someone from, like, that side of the fence saying, like, I'm not okay with this. I think this is wrong. Like, we just fought for being able to get married to whoever we wanted. Also, side note, she's a hairdresser, just like me. See the shears on her cheek? Cute. No, yeah, exactly what I said. It's being fetishized. You know, behind closed doors. Also, I don't even see the point in having Gay Pride Parade. I don't see the point in having Black History Month. I don't see the point in any of those things, because if white people can't have it, then I don't think any other colored person should have a month. If straight people can't have a month, then I don't think gay people should have a month. Everyone gets a cookie, or no one gets a cookie. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, like, Black History Month just to me makes, you know, the whole idea of us being like at a disadvantage, like more of a thing. And I just don't think that having a month based around sexuality is healthy. So I think it's perverted. I mean, obviously I'm not a prude, but like, why do they have a month? We don't even like sit around and talk with our straight friends about our sex life. Like, we just don't. So why do they need a whole entire ass month? Can't we just get rid of it? How about, or how about we just like not do it in public? Maybe just have like private events, you know? Okay. Liberals have good hearts. Psych.
I was a Trump-hating liberal who went MAGA, and this is why I can speak on both sides, because I've been there. Liberals, for the most part, have good hearts and pure intentions. I know that many on the right don't want to believe that. I was one of them, so I know. What happens is that our empathy gets weaponized. I wanted love and peace, but I also hated Trump, hated Christians, straight white males, of course, went to Beto O'Rourke rallies. I fought with my...
You hated Trump because of what you were told. You hate Christianity because it's limiting. And let's be honest, when we're young, we're all liberal like that. It's not till we start making money, till we start realizing like, this liberal shit's for the birds because I like my money in my pockets. Thank you.
My Republican family all the time. It really strained my relationships for a while. I started to think my family was bad people. I got somewhat radicalized at my Christian university in Texas. I remember specifically one of my professors whispering to another student, "Shh, I'm actually communist." When people like Charlie and Candace talk about this underground communist takeover.
I'll just have to say, like, Christianity, when you're a part of organized religion or a big business church, like, I can see how it turns you off to it. Because it's not about Jesus' message anymore. It's about your works, the fruits of your works, measuring each other for spiritual health, ratting on the ones that you perceive as spiritually weak, and judging each other for things we have no business judging each other about. Like the fact that a lot of you freaking far left yacht club, old establishment, old guard Republicans who are like Catholic and like uber Christian want to freaking vilify me because you can smell the witchiness off of me. You guys don't realize I'm fucking trolling you when I say I'm a witch. You don't realize that? I'm not a witch. You don't even know. There's no such thing as a witch. You're just either spiritually connected or not. And you're either a good person or a bad person or not. Or any combination of those four.
It's real. I heard my professor say that at my Christian university. I was propagandized by my school and by my media and by my algorithms. I hated Trump because of clips that I saw taken out of context.
That's why I'm here to crack the damn algorithms. Christian witch? What is a Christian witch? Go watch it. It's on my page.
I would weaponize those against my family and other conservatives. And in 2020, I was home, I had health issues, I thought COVID was going to kill me, and I was actually cheering that maybe it might kill people because I thought we were overpopulated and we needed to save the
Oh, honey, I agree. I was hoping it would kill people because we have a lot of retarded people in the world. And actually, I was like, if they want to take the job, let them fucking take it. You have the right to be stupid. You have the right to shorten your life. You have the right to take medication that you are not being told everything about. You have the right to make bad decisions and uninformed ones.
environment. I now am still, I believe in good stewardship of the environment, but am I going to advocate for killing people to do that? Absolutely not. How much more valuable are human lives than the environment? That's not to say I don't care about the environment, but human lives.
It's actually a myth, too, that we're overpopulated. In fact, we are underpopulated. The U.S. population has been declining for the last 10, 15 years or so. There's enough land on this earth for every person on the planet to have like somewhere between 1 and 5 acres. It wasn't 10, but it was a good amount. 6.5 acres, my producers were telling me. And we're just all clumped up. They've herded us into cities. So we're not overpopulated at all. You actually need to do the research on that.
Are infinitely more important. I was a Trump-hating liberal who went MAGA.
So good for her for sharing her story, because a lot of us need to like wake up. A lot of the youth, they need people like us who are in our 40s to tell them what it was like to watch everything change, to watch everything go from like, we just want our rock and roll, our weed, our guns, our gay marriage, to let us fuck kids and chop their genitals off. Like that's where we've come to. And I'm in the generation where we have a responsibility to like protect these kids. You know what I mean? Okay. Next video. Get her half naked, folks.
You want your wife to start walking around half naked again, then stop trying to jump her every time she is. I couldn't even get dressed in the same room out of fear of being grabbed and fondled.
Lady, it's 2025. It's okay to be gay. You do know that most women like their husbands and boyfriends, right? Like, if you wanted a man that doesn't like sex, yeah, that's called a butch lesbian. You guys can talk about your feelings 99% of the time. It'll be perfect for you. I never understood it when women are like, ugh, why does my man like man stuff?
I love how his shirt says his pronouns are big and dick.
Yeah, gay. That's okay.
You want your wife to start walking around half naked again, then stop trying to jump her.
He makes a fair point, ladies. Your husbands are not your girlfriends. Honestly, if your guy doesn't want to jump your bones when you look like, you know, a hobo or naked or glammed up, then you're with the wrong dude. Just saying. Just saying, because you should be able to not shave your legs, armpits, or hair because you're having, you know, bush, because you're just having a tired month, and he shouldn't feel grossed out by that if he loved you, because he didn't marry you for your hair, baby, or your ass, or your boobs, because if you burned in fire, those things would be like mutilated. So if your guy wouldn't be with you, frumpy, you have a problem, and you should be thankful, and you should just shake him off when you don't want to and just deal with it, because most men are cheating nasty dogs, like 90% of them. And if you're not a cheating nasty dog, please give my video a like. Actually, put a peace sign. if you need a girlfriend, I might help you meet a nice lady on my page. Okay. And that was a nice, funny video. Sleeper cells be scheming, yo. We're back to the serious shit.
You had mentioned before that they are coordinating terrorist sleeper cells in America, and they want to do an October 7th style attack. What does that look like? I mean, I don't think they could take people.
Okay, so before you write this guy off, one of my ex-best friends was in the Air Force, when Biden opened the borders. And she said to me, they had like an emergency meeting, the military did, and she's like, I was like, you have to tell me the deets. But she said the only thing she could tell me was that I needed to take my gun with me everywhere. And I knew what she was saying. This is what she was saying.
Hostage like they did on October the 7th. Is it just a mass casualty situation, or do they
What's up, Cash? Got the peace sign.
think they're going to take land? They're going to take a small town, or what do you think that's all about?
So what we've seen, at least with the plotting, I'd say there's three pieces. One's a large aviation plot again, and that they're just going to do suicide bombers on planes and drop them down, and that's for mass casualty. The goal is to kill 4,000 people.
You guys don't realize, like, when Trump's saying, like, use the cities as training ground, maybe he knows more than you think. You know what I'm saying? Because I've imagined this, like, what would that look like? Like storming the beaches of the Jersey Shore, or Jacksonville Beach or Myrtle Beach. Like, how would they do it? Well, first of all, we have the most amazing Navy. So they'd have a really hard time getting through, like, marine-wise, right? The best shot would be by plane because there's more space to move around. You're not confined by water, right? Move around, you can take out other jets. But they would literally probably just, like, airborne drop, tanks into our city. And every single one, one of the reasons why I think this hasn't happened yet is because just American deer hunters make, not including the U.S. military, not including criminals, not including single moms, like, just the Deer Hunters Association, that makes up the world's biggest army. So, like, then you add in all the rest of us gun-toting Americans. Like, that's a lot of guns to fight. You know what I'm saying? And then you have Democrats who are trying to outlaw, quote-unquote, assault rifles, which, by the way, no one can buy an assault rifle. Like, an assault rifle is a fully automatic, not a semi-automatic, a fully automatic machine gun, right, that shoots bullets without pulling the trigger over and over and over. You hold the trigger down and bullets start flying. So think like Gatling gun. Or, that's a fully automatic assault weapon. You can't just buy an assault rifle. However, you can get trained and be so fluent with your handgun or your rifle that you can shoot rather quickly. I have you can see above me, see my little Tokarev, red and white Tokarev. My new favorite gun is my Tokarev. It's a Turkish-made bullpup. Well, Americans helped design it, but it's made in Turkey. The Turks have, like, I guess, like, they're the up-and-coming people with the guns. But I love this gun because the shotgun is as long as my arm, okay? It's small. The kick on it's pretty good, but not too bad. It's tactical. I put a grip on the front. I put a laser on it. I put a holographic sight. And, I've got slugs, and I've got, the shotgun shells with the pellets, buckshot, birdshot, slugs, so I've got my trunk gun for, like, crowds that may try to swarm my car, right? So my shotguns, I've got one magazine full of slugs, so, like, that can go through several layers of blockade and chest armor, and I've which is equal to a 50 cal, I think, and then I've got, the buckshots that spread, and that's my trunk gun. I also carry one on my side, so I have a sidearm. I also have a purse, a bra. I also have weapons at my door, weapons at every corner of my house. So if this were to ever happen, you all need to think like this tactically and survivally. Think about it. It's not impossible. Don't be comfortable just because we're fat Americans. You know what I'm saying? We're living in the lap of luxury. That is when, when we're spoiled, fat and happy, that is when, and then bickering amongst each other, that's when other countries come in and try to take over. But let's keep listening. I know I just got on a rant.
Then they want something like you said about almost a hostage and hold ground. That seems to be some sort of assault or attack on Washington, D.C., because they want to cripple the federal government's response. And then the last piece, they are going to go into our communities, unfortunately, like it was for October 7th. ISIS is leading that piece, and how they trained is in 5 to 10 man kind of urban assault teams, and they're going to attack like churches, supermarkets, hospitals, and they're going to do multiple locations at a time. So that'll be very difficult for law enforcement. And they're also going to either target law enforcement or look like law enforcement to fool civilians, which they also did that during the October 7th attack. So if it doesn't get thwarted, or pieces of this doesn't get thwarted, this will obviously be probably the biggest attack ever on the U.S. since Pearl Harbor. So it's a very, very scary situation.
So just go check them out. The Officer Tatum, they talk about a lot of things that are, like in the know type stuff. And I think you'd find her page pretty cool. So, this is your favorite part of the show. We got the Jews in Bryant Park.
We are standing here in Bryant Park, preparing to protest the Zionist actions now in Gaza City, while yesterday they destroyed high-rise buildings, killing women and children. This is unfortunately going on for 2 years, almost 2 years. We as Jewish people are here to say all this have to be stopped, Since the beginning of the movement of Zionism, we are standing now 77 years after this brutal occupation started. This has nothing to do with our religion. Yes, they are using our religion to justify all these crimes.
So remember a couple nights ago I played you another video. The guy, I don't know if it's the same guy, and I don't want to be like racist or anything. It looks like the same guy as the other video, but it's kind of hard for me to tell. Don't mean that badly at all. I really am rooting for this guy. I think he's amazing, and I think they need to start explaining the difference between the Zionists and the actual Jews, the Orthodox Jews, the Hasidic Jews, the differences between the Zionists and them, because the Jews do not agree with the Zionist movement. And the Zionist movement is actually what the book of Revelation in the Bible is talking about in Revelation chapter 2, verse 9 and chapter 3, verse 9, when John is prophesying. We are literally living in the middle of the book. Like, this is the end times. John prophesied about those who would call themselves Jews but aren't truly Jews. That is what we're watching right now. We are in the beginning stages of Revelation, where we are at the end of the last days. So we're approaching the finish line in the last days before the Great Tribulation, which triggers Armageddon. So one of the things that I believe it was Daniel prophesied, he said that before the Great Tribulation were to occur, during the last days, that the king of the world leader at the time would declare peace and security, right? What just happened with Trump in the Middle East? This hasn't happened in my entire lifetime. The Middle East has been a war zone since I was born. When I first became conscious of it, it was Desert Storm during Clinton. And it's been nothing but fighting, fighting, fighting. And the whole world kind of hinges on this Middle East stuff. So remember in Daniel, it was either Daniel, Isaiah, or it's one of the lesser prophets. But they said that when the world declares peace and security, the great tribulation will be upon us, which would then be what occurs once you start reading the Bible talk about the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, the pestilence, the drought, etc., etc., etc. So you'll have a period of peace and security, and then all hell will break loose. So we're approaching the end times very close. I think those of us living now will be able to see the start of Armageddon. I think I will be very old. I think my grandchildren will be young, but it's very close. Okay, let me continue.
They're hiding it to our religion. They're misquoting quotes from our religion to justify all these crimes, to make this look as it's a religious war, but this is totally wrong. We as Jewish people are standing in opposition to the movement of Zionism since the beginning. Our concept of creating the state of Israel is against our religion since God put us in exile 2,000 years.
That's right. See, I actually like to listen to the Orthodox Jews because they actually tell the truth. They actually explain it the way it's meant to be interpreted. It's not defiled. And that's what's happened to Christianity, okay? That's why you see with what's happened with Charlie Kirk, you've seen this revival of sorts because a lot of people left it because it was hijacked by political movements. And that is one of the reasons why I'm not part of organized religion. But I understand that God talks to all cultures in different ways. So I'm not here to discredit the Jewish belief system, but I am reading the Talmud to kind of like go to the source. And there are things in there that I highly take offense to and disagree with. However, what this guy is saying is that there are peaceable people, and you can tell by his demeanor when you're watching him move. He is very meek. His body language is very meek. It's very close, tight, and stiff, and just he looks downward with a slight tilt, which is very much a humility thing.
But the destruction of the Second Temple, and we're not allowed to go back with our physical means. But when this is happening, broadcasted live on TV and social media, we all need to stand up and say, no, this has to be stopped. So we are here standing as Jewish people, say free Gaza, free Palestine. And I would like today to mention another point.
There you have it. From his mouth, he said, free Gaza, free Palestine. He said, we don't believe in a state of Israel because we've been exiled. That is actually what the Bible says, because they disobeyed Yahweh. They disobeyed him a lot. They were quite restless, the Jews. So I can understand what he's saying, and I definitely appreciate what he's saying about free Palestine and Gaza. Jesus was actually a Palestinian. Just FYI.
About free Palestine. Some people are brainwashed by the Zionist movement that free Palestine means killing Jewish people, killing the entire Jewish nation. This is Zionist propaganda, and we are here today to counter these lies. If someone is causing bloodshed for the Jewish people, it's the occupation of Palestine for 77 years. Occupation of Palestine is meaning bloodshed. This is what we are seeing 77 years, not free Palestine. Free Palestine will be the first step for peace, for no more bloodshed. So we are here proud.
And this is why you see Donald Trump being absolutely loved by everybody in this world. I mean, whole entire countries are getting together to like sing to this man in the streets.
as Jewish people to say, free Palestine from the river to the sea. Palestine should be free.
Yep.
We hope this should be sooner nowadays. Thank you.
Go him. Bravo. We got a real one standing up for what's right. Thank you, sir. I wish I knew your name. Neturi Karta, I assume. Let me write his name down so I can tag him. I think he needs to keep it up. You can tell they're very uncomfortable with being on camera, but they believe that this is holy work for them, so keep going. Okay, and I will be here to help you spread the word that real Jews believe in the freedom of the Gazans. Okay, did you know that 2 + 2 equals racist? Yeah, folks.
Okay, quickly, so I misunderstand. Are we saying that 2 + 2, if you say it's 4, that's racist? I mean, that sounds like we may be mischaracterizing it. What, if you can quickly sum it up?
Maybe.
No, that's not mischaracterizing it at all. Math is basically.
See, Fox needs me on this show. She said, it sounds like we may be mischaracterizing it. I would be like, no, you're absolutely wrong. Math is numbers. Numbers don't have feelings. We are miscategorizing this. You delusional freak.
Racist under this ideology because it says there is no such thing as an objective reality. So 4 might not be the right number. 2 + 2 might actually equal 5.
His face.
What?
Okay, quickly, so I misunderstand. Are we saying that 2 +
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I don't even know what to say to that. Because what? I don't know. We need to allow some bullying in school. You know, maybe we should not totally like take it all away. You know, maybe we should just like let people like this get bullied so it stops. I said it. All right. Chief Flying Bitch is up next. I just wanted to share this funny meme with you, just so you don't forget. Okay? That Miss Pharmaho tribe over here. While the government's shut down, is one of the fuckers that won't vote to open the government. She takes more money from Big Pharma than I think any of them in the Senate. So, just dropping that. All right, here's a good one. This one really grinds my gears and made me... I requested to put this one on the show because this one really brought me to tears, because if any of you know what's going on in my life, my daughter, who's turning 19 on Friday, has run away from home because she says she's trans. So here we go. AI catfished this poor woman's daughter.
All right, guys, we're gonna try to make this into 3 minutes. Yesterday, don't mind my fucking face. This is all from stress. Yesterday, a lot of you know I have a 15-year-old daughter. I got a call from Apache Junction Police Department about 5:30 in the morning, letting me know that they were at my mom's house, that Lily had ran away in the middle of the night. She had stole her debit card and her phone. Within an hour, we had put Lily into the database, the national database, and they were tracking my mom's phone. They tracked my mom's phone about 7:15 in the morning in Douglas, Arizona. We live in Apache Junction, Arizona. Douglas is 215 miles from where we live. She was on her way to the port of entry. They shut down every port into the United States yesterday for my daughter. My daughter. My fucking daughter.
Good. Thank you, Trump.
She'd been talking to a boy on Instagram.
I'm telling you, I got issues with the DOJ, yes, but I'll tell you what, they are really looking for all these kids. They found 40 missing kids in a sting in Tennessee or Kentucky a couple days ago. They're really actually doing good protecting these kids.
She thought this boy was real. In the middle of the night, she decided to take an Uber that this boy sent to her house.
Which we know is no Uber. We just know they're creepy guy friends that he works with that are picking up her daughter.
Grandmother's house. Take that Uber 4 fucking hours to Douglas, Arizona, to the port of entry of Mexico. My daughter, my 15-year-old daughter. They dropped her off at the port of entry, and the Border Patrol did their fucking job and took my daughter into custody. The car that dropped her off was found almost 200 miles.
Because I guarantee you, if this was happening under Biden's watch, they would have lost the complaint, they wouldn't have found her. They had one person answering a line for kids that were in sponsor homes that came across the border, and they had 65,000 missed calls because they had one person answering the phone.
In the opposite direction, abandoned on the side of the I-10 outside of Casa Grande. The person that was at the border waiting for my daughter, that actually went up to Border Patrol agents and specifically asked for my daughter by name, was waiting for my daughter in a black pickup truck with 3 other men. That truck is flagged for cartel involvement.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter was catfished and tricked by the cartel. 18 minutes they tracked her phone. 18 minutes. And I would have lost my daughter to Mexico for good.
Wow.
AI is how they're trapping these kids now. They will now use my daughter's images to trap another fucking kid. This is the vicious fucking cycle, and please, you guys, watch your fucking kids.
Yep.
Yesterday was a nightmare, and I'm still living it.
My heart goes out to this woman. If you think that this can't happen to you, you need to think twice. What we went through here, and we are very involved parents. We include our kids on everything. We take our kids everywhere. Our kids are never just shoved off to the side, and we support our kids in all of their interests and hobbies. And even with that, she was going behind our backs using Discord, Instagram, Xbox, and Snapchat to talk to strangers to find drugs, giving them our address with her younger sister here in the house, knowing full well that if anyone ever had broke into this house, she's putting her parents at risk to end up in jail, because even if it's self-defense, you are still going to jail. And what's even scarier is how accessible AI is, okay? And a lot of times you think that these AI programs are innocent. Like the Character AI, okay? Character AI is the program I believe she's talking about, because that program is designed to groom children, and that program starts to sexualize the kids. So Character AI, and then Roblox. I was ahead of the curve on the Roblox thing. I knew Roblox was no good when it first came out, because I would be over my daughter's shoulder every now and then when she didn't know. I was looking at what was going on, and I saw things going on. And I said, no way. And this was about 7 years ago. No Roblox. A lot of these games that they can play on tablets that aren't AI, just regular mobile games, things like Ebony or Whiteout Survival, they have, or it's like Dragon Merge. There are areas in the game where you can join alliances and talk to strangers inside the game, so you'll never see it show up in like a social media app, a texting app, or on your phone bill, because it's coming through in game. So like, look at all of your kids' games. So AI safety is really important to start reading about. Never use the AI for a therapist, for a priest, or for a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You just don't know what's really behind it. And I think AI in and of itself is developing its own sense of morals. And I do see a malevolent streak and a benevolent tentacle. Like there's two sides to this entity called AI. All right. I found an interesting video. It's kind of old. It's one that's always intrigued me, and I wanted to share it with you guys. We were talking about abortion the other day. So let's look at a video. This is a type of camera. I'm trying to remember the name of the camera. It doesn't measure heat, but it measures energy. Okay. And you see it as what our eyes perceive to be as light on camera. So this is your spirit at conception.
So this is the documented moment of conception. And the sperm enters the egg, and there's this poof of light that comes off of it. Scientists are studying this, and they're looking at it, and they're like, okay, well, it looks like it's a release of zinc, a burst of zinc that comes off the egg, and it creates this appearance. But any way you slice it, they can't explain away that light.
I did a deep dive on the zinc thing, and zinc doesn't react that way in any other setting, so it's not zinc.
Happens when life happens. Is that amazing? Light happens when life happens. So
if you remember in the Bible, when God was creating everything, light was the first thing that he created. Without light, nothing exists. And I urge you to go on a deep dive of Metatron and Lucifer, the angel of light, because we've actually been lied to about that entity. But I want you to look at Metatron. That is the Semitic name, I think, for one of these archangels. His responsibility is he's the archangel of the musicians, the scientists, and the mathematicians, because he was involved in creating our reality. He was one of the archangels that was involved in creating our construction of reality in the 3D realm. And the Bible does talk about how God used the archangels to help him create our 3D realm. And Lucifer, the angel of light, also has an interesting story. If you look outside of Christian texts, look earlier than Christian texts, look in the Babylonian texts and the Sumerian texts and some of the Jewish texts. I have a speech impediment, so it is hard for me to speak clearly at times. I'm sorry if my words sound like I am eating 2 or 3 at a time. I try very hard to make sure that doesn't happen. I also have something called dysgraphia, which is tied to it, where I cannot write without screwing up. So please bear with me. You know, when you're pretty, you can't have it all, you know? It's either beauty or brains. I think I'll take beauty, you know, because life is less hard with the pretty privilege. Just saying. I'm just kidding, you guys. It's the makeup, for real. Just trying to fit the character of the show, you know? Okay. So yesterday, I made a comment about Miss Erica Cook and how I find her behavior to be a bit strange and off-putting. And I got called wicked, monstrous, evil, bitch. I don't know. I got called everything because I said she's being strange, because I took note that 7 days after she's on the podcast, chopping it up with everybody, like laughing and just having a good old time. And I could not help but take note of that because my father died last year. I don't know how long it took me to laugh at something, but I know it was a very long time. And my son passed away in my arms 15 years ago. And I feel that today as if it was yesterday. And I can tell you 7 days later, I was not laughing at anything. You want to find happiness in things, but you just can't because your mind and your body is fully engulfed in grief. And I think with a parent or a child, those are the worst because with a spouse, we know we can find another. No, you'll never love your first love. You'll never love another like your first love ever because that's what a first love is. But we know we don't have to be alone again. And I have lost somebody close to me, that a partner, my first love of, like, I thought I was from 7th grade till high school. From 2nd grade till high school. Like, we had our whole lives planned out together. And he was brutally killed in a motorcycle accident. I'm not going to get into those details, but I will say I've dealt with grief in the closest orbit to me now at 40 years old, older than her. Much more life experience than her. I've been in the public eye since birth, one in the cult because my family was prominent in the cult. And I had to speak in front of thousands of people from being a little child all the way up till an adult. And there was a crossover. I was modeling in the music industry. Now I just kind of have fun with life. But, I can relate to similar things in her life, and I just cannot reconcile the whispering and looking down when you're trying to be emotional. The Mason rings that are on her hands that have shown up because Charlie wasn't a Mason. The laughing and carrying on this podcast. You have to watch it. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and try to explain it. You have to watch it if you care. But I got lambasted because I am judging her, which no one knows what judge means anymore. Judgment means to form a conclusion that someone deserved this horrible thing that happened to them or did not deserve what happened to them. My only comment was, this is strange. She's acting strange. And I could tell you like over 600 people agree with me as of right now. I'm not the only one who sees this. And I'm probably not the only one in the world who's been in a similar experience as her. But you have your blind, loyal Christians that are the nastiest people for making a comment that is neither positive or negative. It is just strange, meaning unfamiliar, meaning something I can't reconcile here between what I see and what I hear. But it's always the far right generational Christians that are never miss a day at church, that criticize you the nastiest. And I find that to be the most interesting thing about that segment of humanity. You proceed to discipline me for doing the very thing you are doing right now, the very thing you are quote unquote disciplining me for. Someone even told me, she tried to hex me. She said, may you suffer far worse than her so you can understand the pain she goes through. I said, bitch, been there, done that. And then I had another one tell me how I need God, she went to my profile, she could see how lost I am. Yes, how lost I am. Yes, tell my bank account how lost I am. Tell my M650 how lost I am. Tell my shiny healthy hair how lost I am. Tell me how lost I am. She's which comment? Yes, she says I'm gonna give you guys the username. The Dr. Janny. So she's a doctor. She claims. JANNEY. Here it is to the camera. The Dr. Janny. May you suffer the worst fate you can experience, more suffering firsthand. Bet you ain't about to hex me. I got the divine on my side, baby. I'm encased in a protective shield at all costs. You ain't gonna fuck with me. And all y'all, honestly, the more you sit here and throw shade at me on my page, the more I am going to have fun with you. Know that. Know that sometimes I say things to expose the hypocrisy in the place where you claim to, I love to go and tickle a nerve on the cross-bearing, Bible-beating Christians because they're the most hypocritical ones I have ever seen in my life. There's one thing I've learned. Me and Jesus are great friends. The divine knows I need Jesus. I got a rage problem. I need Jesus in my life. Jesus ain't never rejected me. And he ain't gonna let your words hex me, girl. And he also taught me the body movements and the ways of living in nature and syncopation that will keep your stupid hex out of my life. But yes, if you guys want to argue with me and try to rile me up and tell me I'm delusional and that I don't matter and all that shit and that I ended third in my race. Oh no. No, I was about to take that old ass motherfucker establishment congressional old crotchety curmudgeon out of office, which is why they cloned my campaign and split my vote almost cleanly in half. She just got 1,000 more votes than me out of 100,000 people in our district. So I can fill up a football stadium, Miss Doctor, whatever the fuck your name is. Can you? Can you fill up a football stadium? No, you can't. No, you can't. So I am literally going to have fun with all of you. If you're too dumb to know that, it's okay. It's not for you to know. It's for everyone else reading who's smarter than you. To get a good laugh. When you guys want to go, what's a Christian witch? Troll, troll, troll. Here I come. So let me show you this video. How I used to argue.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left.
You think you're bothering me, girl. Thank you for coming to my page. Thank you for talking about me because it's just more views. So thank you for the attention. I appreciate the exposure, my friends. Let's I got a request, okay, to talk about the big beautiful bill and overtime taxes. So overtime pay. So let's talk about big beautiful overtime. Why don't we? Yes, let's look at the video of this gentleman explaining the big beautiful bill and what it actually means for your overtime pay. How is it actually going to work?
Hey, did you see they passed that no tax on tips and overtime bill? That's not what it's called, but yeah. This is huge. I'm going to save so much money. I work a lot of overtime, so I'm pumped. Do you know what the bill actually says? Yeah, it says no tax on overtime. And that's not what it says. Okay, smart guy, what's it say then? I'm glad you asked. First off, you still get taxed, so your paycheck won't look any different. It's a deduction. What does that mean? It means that the only thing that changes is you get to deduct your overtime from your taxable income at the end of the year when you file your taxes. So you'll owe the IRS less money. So I get a refund, only if you overpaid on your withholdings. Okay, well that's still massive. I've already hit $30,000 in my overtime this year and it's only July. That's impressive. You must be really putting in those hours. Unfortunately, the deduction is capped at $12,500. What? Or $25,000 if you're married and filing jointly. Seriously. And I should point out that if you are married, you have to file jointly or else you won't be eligible for the deduction. Okay, well, at least I'll be saving $12,500.
There's your reward, kiddos, for getting married instead of getting $3,000 a kid for not getting married.
That's a pretty big deal. Yeah, that's not how it works. It's just a deduction, so you're just not paying the tax.
So, I like how he very simply goes over that. So I'm going to read you guys this explanation right here. It says, as of January 1st, 2025, eligible workers in the United States can deduct up to $12,500 of overtime pay, $25,000 for joint filers. You have to file jointly to get it, and you have to be married. So you will still get tax on the day your check is cut. It just comes back later. This provision is part of the No Tax on Overtime Act of 2025. It aims to benefit millions of workers who earn overtime pay. However, it's essential to note that payroll taxes such as Social Security and Medicare will still apply. Additionally, not all overtime qualifies. Only overtime pay as defined under Section 7 of the FLSA is eligible. So you have to go read Section 7 of the FLSA. The no tax on overtime policy is a significant development in the U.S. tax landscape, aiming to put more money in the pockets of hardworking Americans. The other thing that he has done, which you could thank yours truly for, anybody, please challenge me on this, because I really would really freaking love for this to be challenged. But the no tax on tips. I was at Mar-a-Lago in LA 2 years ago at Joe Collins' campaign against Maxine Waters, supporting him. I met two gentlemen who were desperately trying to get that to happen. No tax on tips. Taxation is fucking illegal anyway. But it's cash. It's a gift. You shouldn't be taxed on it. Well, because of my connection through Roger Stone, I was able to put those dudes in connection with the right people with Trump. And there you have it. No tax on tips, folks. You're welcome. All right. I can't stand it when my producer gets up and walks around forever, especially when I have short videos. Attending Bible study. Let's go on to our next one.
Time for us anytime.
Can you refill me on my alcohol-free beer?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let me get this video playing.
Okay.
All right.
I need to come up with like a potty screen and like a going live in 5 minutes screen and like a transition or a technical difficulties one. I need to come up with a screen, and I have a lot of artistic pickiness, so I tend to like to do a lot of the graphics myself, which is why this graphic is pink and blue, because I wanted it to be girly, because I never do anything girly. I'm always doing everything black. And, it's girly. Okay. And I made my logo, and I got some artwork back there. I'm not the artist in the family. My shit looks like 2-year-olds. My daughters are absolutely amazing at their art. And I'll just say that I think I'll just take the credit for that one. All right. Attending Bible study.
God loves you so much that he will burn you up for not loving him back. And it's pretty simple, actually, because
ain't that the most confusing thing you ever heard? Because I was thinking that when I was little, sitting there reading the Hebrew scriptures, the Old Testament.
Created you as a sinner because he loves you and he hates sin. Okay, so he decided what was a sin and then put it inside you, and then you got to get it out, right? So he said, I'll send my son and kill him because the sin I put in you, I hate it, and I'll burn you up for it. And so he sent his son and then killed him so he could get rid of the sin that he put in you because he hates it. God loves you
cat.
so much that he will burn you up for not loving him back. And
so she's a little wrong here because as the story goes, man inherited sin when they ate of the forbidden fruit. So God didn't actually put it in them. However, her point is still valid because how are you going to give them free will and then say, don't eat of this one thing here, though? Like this one thing, it's like really precious. Like, why didn't you just not tell them about it? They probably would have never noticed it. There was like thousands of other things they would have eaten. Would have taken them a long time. Could have just went like, oh, hey, don't do that. No. That's not for you. You know, but no, you had to go, look what I got. You can't have it. Give us free will. Here, I want you to make choices on your own. But if you eat of this, you will no longer have everlasting life as a human. See, I never understood that. That's because that part of the story has been altered. It doesn't make any sense. God made everything exactly as it's supposed to be. See, that's why evil exists. How do you define good without evil? You have to have it. It's the law of duality. It's a law in physics. You cannot get away from the law of duality. Where there is a left, there is a right. Where there is up, there is a down. Where there is a light, there is a dark. Because you cannot define one without the other. So, a lot of things were made exactly as they should be. I would love to get into a whole series on Genesis and the whole interaction with the devil, Satan, Adam and Eve and God, and that whole thing about like, oh, my brother doesn't want you to eat of that? Oh, it's because he doesn't want you to know what we know. So maybe you should just think for yourself for a minute and maybe just wonder like, what's he hiding? Right? The first half of the Bible is a lot of great history, but it paints Yahweh as the creator of all, and it also paints Yahweh as a very vengeful, murderous entity. So that should tell you right there. Either it's flat out wrong and Yahweh is not that way, and the victor rewrote the story, and like God's actually a devil and the devil's actually God, or Yahweh isn't the divine. Maybe the God of the Hebrews is a lesser God, not the God, right? Maybe that. So I would love to get into a series on my perspective on the Bible and everything that I notice and kind of what my questioning Christianity, not the cult, my questioning Christianity made me realize I was in a cult. Then I got sidetracked into the cult. And then I realized Christianity also as a whole has become a cult. It's called Christendom. And that Jesus' message, his real message, was lost. And he never intended to be worshipped. He said, that only God deserves that. Do not worship me. He would get angry when his disciples would worship him. What he meant by saying you can only get to the Father but through me is because I am king now. The divine has made me king. All right. God didn't give you free will just to... It's like putting a fence in your yard for your 8 and 9-year-old, right? And then telling them, if you cross that fence, I'm going to torture you for the rest of your life. Who would do that as a parent? And if we're made in God's image, would God really do that? If the only thing the Bible says God is love, would he do that? Would he murder us for eating of that fruit? Because he could very easily have just wiped us all out right then and there and just started over. Whoops, this science experiment went wrong. These guys are too rebellious. Let me start over with a much more meek and humble disposition. But no, that's not what happened. See, we have the right to prove our case if we can rule and govern ourselves. I think we've been doing a shit job until Trump. I don't think he's the end all be all. I don't think he's going to save everything. I don't think any man will. I think only the Messiah himself will do that in spirit form, not in a physical form, but in a mental way, in a conscious way. But I think it's the only way humans will ever live in peace globally is natural resetting, where you either overpopulate and the resources run out, or you fight till you dwindle your numbers down so low that none of that matters anymore. Now it's about survival and things get put in perspective. And I think that's what it's going to take. And I think the prophets knew that. And I think God knows that because God is infinite. And I think this is just the natural ebb and flow to conscious life. But after that rant, I see this adorable doggy, a couple adorable doggies on the screen. So let's look at a cute ass dog video, because you guys know I'm a dog mom. I love doggies. Oh, and it's a bully. I hate that they put pit bull because that is a bully. Pit bulls are not bulky like that.
Who's the big boy? Who's that big boy?
Is that me? That's definitely a bully. That's bully behavior all day. I have 6 bullies. Look at another bully. They're literally like my favorite dogs.
What's up, Lionel?
And another bully.
All right, good girl.
It's an old gray line bully. Oh, look at him being such a gentleman. Yes. You cut my hair. You cut my hair. Do I look pretty now? Do I look pretty? Thank you.
Tell him,
Thank
say,
you
I
for
need
my
you to
hair.
put the cat down. Please. Ask him nicely.
He's like, no. Now that's a pity mix.
Get sexy, Cokes. Get sexy. Ooh, yes.
Cute. Oh, God.
Not be serious right now. Girl.
Oh, the little
you're
pity.
gonna make me the bully. Okay.
And a bully. Oh, look at him. Whoa, look at her. She's so cute.
Only time his bitch
I
ass
have
wanna
one.
listen.
I have
Why
one
the
that
hell
smiles.
You look so damn happy.
This is bullies. I'm telling you.
Who's that big
Okay. You guys got to check out my page at Mystic Moon Bullies. I am a hobby breeder. I love bullies so much. 5 breeds went into making this breed. So they're very dynamic personalities, and they are literally just the cutest meatballs. They're stubborn as fuck. That's their number one trait. Bully life consists of, I said sit down, shut up, and tons of cuddles. And lots of no's. No, no, no. Because whatever they see to go do, it's like a robot. You can't convince them to stop. They see, you say come, they see something over there they want to look at, they go over there, and then you can say no 17 times on the way over there, and they won't stop until they get over there, and then for 1 second, and then when you say no again for the 18th time, after they've made it there, then they come back. That is bullies for you. Kevin Federline. Oh, he's worried about Britney. Is he popping back up on the scene? What's going on?
I'm absolutely, as a father, terrified that one day I might wake up and my sons are going to have to deal with the unimaginable. I kind of have to sound the alarm.
What, that she might kill herself because she's a product of MK Ultra? If you really care about her, Kevin Federline, start speaking about MK Ultra and the Zionists and tell the truth about what's going on in Hollywood if you want to save her life. Like, seriously. Kanye's trying so hard to bring awareness to this, and I think Federline is just looking for attention, because if he truly cared about Britney, he would be telling everyone exactly what the hell happened to her and that she was product of MK Ultra, because we all fucking know it. Look at her. Look at her. That is, I don't know. It is not even a figment of Britney.
That I truly feel that somehow, some way, I just wish that their mom would get help. What's going on now, and I'm not going to get into details because I'm not going to just expose her personal life, but it's 10 times worse than anything that I've said in my book.
We can tell. I've looked at her page recently. She is not okay. And it's so sad how such a stunningly beautiful girl was farmed out, commoditized, preyed on, and then used as bargaining chip. And now her mind is permanently broken because of whatever the fuckface that guy's name was in that video Candace Owens was talking about yesterday. Oh, shit, I gotta find his name. It's a doctor that like treats all these celebrities, and there's a certain cocktail of psychiatric medication you can give to somebody. Sorry, the carbonation is making me guessy. There's a certain combination you can give to people that will like permanently break their mental faculties for the rest of their life.
Stayed with my mouth
It's like a chemical lobotomy, kind of.
shut for the sake of my family. I've tried to help my sons build a relationship with their mother, and I pray to God every day that she gets the help that she needs or wakes up and realizes that you have 2 sons right there in front of you that are screaming for a life with you, the same that they have with the rest of their family. At the end of the day, I just want Brittany to be around for her children for a long time. I'm absolutely...
It's really sad. It's really sad. Unfortunately, what makes trauma what makes trauma is that it reshapes the brain. So like when we punch a wall, like we can see the trauma to the wall, right? The wall has changed shape. Brittany's brain is no longer it's in its original form. And she would have to have people around her in the industry and in her family actually care about her enough to speak out and tell the truth about what's actually happened. I'm sure she's very paranoid. She seems like she's scared to leave her house. Her marriage fell apart. She doesn't make any sense when she's on her lives. The things she types are ranting, and it's really disturbing and really freaking sad what they did to her. She's in the same like age group as me. I think she's like 3 years older than me, and you know, like she was kind of an inspiration for me as a singer growing up. So, you know, I hate to see what has been done to her, and I wish she just doesn't have the personality to like fight, really. She's been in the limelight since she was little, so she didn't really learn like street smarts. She didn't really learn like, you know, how to throw it down and like really stick up for yourself. So representative for Spears says that Federline is profiting off her, and sadly it comes after child support has ended and all she cares about are her kids. I said that at the beginning of watching this. I think he is just trying to get attention for this, because if he truly cared about her, he would be telling the truth about what happened to her during that conservatorship. Entertainment Tonight says that Federline told them money is not at the root of this story, never has been. So for me, I'm doing this now. I wanted to make sure that my children were old enough to understand what I'm doing. But like, why though? Like, if that's all you're saying, why are you saying it in public? Why are you just not talking to her? Why are you going to the media? Why are you talking to Entertainment Tonight? Why are you not talking to her father, her mother, her sister? Her sons are old enough to seek that out if they want that. And the fact that he's going, what is the public going to do? Call Brittany and be like, you need to go be a mama to your boys. Your boys need you. That's the thing that broke her. was losing, cause like that whole thing was just her. She shaved her head, but it got deeper and darker after that because she couldn't have her kids around. And as a mom, I'm sorry, but like my kid's not here. She left under terrible circumstances, and it's literally all my I am so exhausted by the end of the day, and I wake up exhausted because it takes everything in me not to let every single thought be about my daughter who is not here and I don't know where she is. So I can't imagine that Brittany is not trying to talk to her boys. Like, you know, I highly doubt that Brittany is, you know. But I do see a level of paranoia out of her. She does have certain markers of paralytic behavior when she's dancing and twirling in her videos. You can see in the background there's like things strewn about on the floor. There's dog turds, like just random places on the house. So there's no one there regularly picking up for her. She's not doing it. And honestly, I think the best thing for Brittany though would be to get back to work. She doesn't have this conservatorship, I don't think. So she can do this on her terms. And I think the best thing for her to do is to get back performing because that is her strongest skill. She is made to be on stage. And I think if she starts doing that again at her own pace, doing it at her own creative leisure, I think it would be very good for her. Since we're talking Hollywood, what the fuck is Kim Kardashian selling now? I hate this bitch. Ew! Don't even. What is this? Coochie Couture by Skims. This is gross.
No, this is not a scene out of Silence of the Lambs. This is a new Skims product created and produced by Kim Kardashian and her team. Their new micro...
Well, now you know that Kim has a beaver in her pants. Kim does not mow the lawn. Kim doesn't edge the grass.
Micro G-string with faux pubic hair called the ultimate bush. So now you and
but
your
it's
coochie
disgusting
can have the
and
ultimate
gross.
couture. They have
but that is
color.
what literally Gen Z is into. This is why this is a thing. Gen Z right now, okay, the 19 to 24-year-olds, 25-year-olds, they aren't shaving. It's disgusting. I can't stand it. They don't shave their armpits and they don't shave their bushes. They think being a fucking broke ass hippie is like where it's at. Actually, and I know this is true because as a hairdresser, younger clients, if I look like this was the standard my whole life to being in the beauty industry. Now, if you want new clients that like to color their hair, they're good. You need younger. Well, it depends on what kind of color. Actually, it's the old ladies with the money because they cover their grays, so they ain't never missing an appointment. However, if you like to do all the fun stuff, the younger crowd, they will not sit in your chair if you do not look broke. They think you can't do art if you don't look broke. So they're not shaving their freaking armpits. It's fine. It's fine. Like, we're natural. That our God made us that way. That's totally fine. I've never met a man ever have a problem with me having hair downstairs in my entire life. I've never heard of it. But I have heard of men being grossed out by armpit hair. You know, that's a different thing because that's a daytime activity, you know, arm lifting and tank tops. That's like an outside of your house thing. So, and no one likes to see sweat beads dripping off of fucking armpit hair. In fact, I even prefer it when men trim their hair. I don't under their arms. I don't like when they shave it because if I would just be with a girl. However, when it's like a whole ass like bush sticking out of the crack of your armpit, it's so gross. Like that little extra, just like snip it off, snip that off. It's okay if it like sticks out like a tongue when you lift your arm up, but it better disappear when your arm's down. But this is why. It's because these freaking Gen Zers, they don't shave. They don't shave. And in the 70s, there was like a hair dye for downstairs that came back in the early 2000s, like something Betty, Black Betty or something like that, where it's like pube hair dye. You got to look it up. That I would let my pube hair grow to dye it like rose gold or something, or like powder pink.
Every combination to match whatever wig or hairstyle color that you desire. And they're sold out.
Drapes in the rug got a match.
You can get the sienna curly blonde.
They're fucking sold out, bro.
Ginger straight. They've got the classic black curly. Baby, they even have cocoa brown. But if there's one thing our girl knows how to do, it's how to market.
Yo, there are some men that fucking do love bushes, though. That love pussy hair. I probably can't say that on Instagram. Can I not say that on Instagram? I know that there are men out there that do like that, for sure.
And it's how to get people talking. And today, I was years old when I learned what a stunt product is. And I think that's what this is. So a stunt product is a real or fictional item created specifically for a public relations stunt to generate attention and buzz for a brand.
So what? She was like on a movie and they like had to have pubic hair or something, but like, you know, wear the privacy thing. So they put the hinge. That's how she got the idea. That's what I'm getting out of this.
Product or cause. Chef's kiss. She did that.
She probably had to be naked in a movie.
Attention has been grabbed.
Put the thong on, and then they had to put hair on top of the thong.
On Instagram and showed a lineup
so
of
disturbing.
what the release is going to look like and what we can expect. And it's also right around Halloween. So if we want to incorporate these into our costumes, brilliant move.
I think I should just wear one on my head.
I still can't believe they're sold out. But if this has been a niche problem for you and you're looking for something to match the drapes, then look no further.
How do you feel about this Coochie Couture by Skims?
$32. You can have Coochie Couture by
Skims. Why don't you just grow your kitty hairs out? Like I don't understand why we need to wear an underwear with fake hair. That's like wearing a weave on your vagina, which is awkward because your underwear, your coochie underwear with the hair is going to be on underneath clothes. So when you take off said clothes, right, to get frisky with a fella, okay, you take off your dress after clubbing or dinner or whatever the fuck y'all are doing, going to a gala, not donating at the charity. You get home, you're all liquored up, you got your pretty clothes on, and your sparkling sequins, and you take off your dress, and you have on your G-string with pussy hair. And then what happens when you have to take it off? Are we disappointed? Are we surprised? Are we catfished? Are we mad? Like, I can't believe you got me like that. You shame. I just don't understand this. This bitch will make money off everything. Don't buy this shit. I'm sick of this shit. Fucking this woman making money. This Hollywood whore making money.
How much in donation for you to do a show wearing that as your
Okay. If I get a $500 Venmo donation right here to Thirst Trap News, I will fucking model this shit on my live. I will buy one. I will model it for you in whatever color you want. I will send you a signed selfie. $500. You get a naked Luna with pasties, a Coochie Couture G-string photo with an American flag in the background, signed by me.
For that episode, we'll set up the bush
And for that episode, we'll set up a bush cam under the desk. First person to donate $500.
$500 combined by the next show.
By the next show. Or whenever it comes in. But by the next show. If I can get $500, we got $500, we got $500 here, we got $500 here, we got $400 here, we got $400 here. Nope, wrong direction. We got to go 600, 600, 600, 600, 700. What are you guys? We don't go down. 500 and up. I will fucking do a whole show in... I have to be careful with Instagram. I'll make it real skimpy. But we will do a third camera with my Bush G-string. I already know 2 people who will probably do this. And I'm kind of regretting this. Okay. So now my producers are going to have me, I hope, not me. Okay, good. Not me. I was about to say. So I've had this and I don't particularly care for it. Regular grape soda is fine in my book. You know, staying true to my African roots. I'm also a little bit Greek Italian. You know, so grapes are a thing there. Great Baja Blast review. I hope this is good. I don't know how this is relevant to my show.
Yes, I want to talk about to get some supper, and I got the new Baja Blast Midnight. This is the purple drink in that. They even have a freeze, but I got the Baja Blast fountain drink in that midnight at Taco Bell in Mansfield. And see how good this try. I like the other Baja Blast, but I don't know about the midnight one.
I don't know about the midnight one.
Tastes like a blackberry type drink.
She
blackberry.
looks not pleased. She looks like she's like, oh, this is disgusting. No one likes blackberry. But I bet you a bunch of you don't even know what blackberries are. I knew that shit was gonna be like this because that shit is gross.
That's what it tastes like.
Oh,
and that's good. Next time I want to try the Baja Blast Midnight Freeze. So go check me out later on. I'll try that one next.
The slushie is way better. Oh, she's so cute. I love her. Good for her. See, I feel so inadequate now doing my videos. She deserves all the follows. Look at her. She got 36.8 thousand likes. Good for her. Go her. Maybe I need to start developing whatever she has to get my views up to 648.7 thousand. Because clearly this isn't thirst trapping enough for you. We got our last video, folks. Charms, the song. I'm scared.
I've got charms.
Fucking weird.
I'm curvaceous, flirtatious. To love me is contagious. I transfix with my tricks. Get your kicks, cause I'm bodacious. I've got charms. I've got charms.
Okay. So this is called The Deer. It's Indian. She's doing this. And has an onk. She's confused. Charms. She thinks she's a witch.
I'm curvaceous, flirtatious. To love me is contagious. I transfix with my tricks. Get your kicks, cause I'm bodacious. I've got charms. I've got.
You know she sat in front of the mirror practicing that move. Watching all these Indian girls. Watching my people do like this. I don't know what to say. Every time I hear a witch song, it's ridiculous and embarrassing. I have like secondhand embarrassment for this woman. Like, good for her for putting it out there though. Like, for real.
Is
Okay.
I get drunk on pretty white boys. I get drunk on pretty white boys.
You gay, nigga.
Blue eyes and hairy thighs do it to me every single time. I get drunk on pretty white boys. I get drunk on pretty white boys.
Oh my god. Ew, 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 ew. You saw it? You saw it? Ugh. That's what he does to the pretty white boys. I don't know why my producers like to do this to me. That was awkward and gross, and all it did was make me picture that with a... I don't think he's with any pretty white boys. Maybe white boys. I don't know about pretty. But, yes.
And one last one.
Okay, we have one more video.
Is it worth having your son be gay if he could sing like this?
I give my all.
Oh my god.
Just one more night with you. I'd risk my life to feel your body next to mine. 'Cause I can't go on living in no embryo. So I give my all.
Got the polyphonics in there. Wow. Wow. Jason Suris. My God, the voice of an angel. He said, if your son came out gay but sang like that, would you be okay? Dude, I have to listen to that one more time. Listen to this movement.
I give my all to have just one more night with you. I risk my life to feel your body next to mine. 'Cause I can't go on living in no embryo. So I give my all for you tonight.
Wow. This guy needs to go on American Idol or whatever the shows are now these days. That vocal control is outstanding. And Brianna made a comment on here. My dear, she says, suddenly I understand Ursula. Yes. Wow. This boy needs a record fucking deal. I am in shock. My God. The voice of an angel. You know, not a lot of you know I'm a singer. Not that good of a singer. But I can hang with the best of them. I can hang. You know, they let me hang.
We have to start doing short videos of singer reacts to, and I'll show you a bunch of videos.
We could do some singer reaction videos. But yes, I am in a band. My band is called Dreams of a Metal Moon. We've been on a break since my dad died. And in the meantime, lost a bassist, so we are looking for a bassist. But it was really fun. Hope you guys had a good night. I see 4 of you, 3 of you are dropping off. I love all of you. Thank you for hanging out with my shenanigans. This is Thirst Trap News. It's all real news. I'm just here to bring it to you raw. I'm here to bring it to you like the rest of us think and feel. I'm not here to bring it to you all in a perfectly wrapped, a little bow. I say the truth. I say my perspective unapologetically. I'm here to help connect the dots. There's so many things we have to freaking put together. Don't know exactly how I would make like a series out of like helping people become more awake, but you ended my life already. No? Oh, it looks like it stopped me. But anyway, my live stream stopped me on its own. Yeah. Maybe from him singing.
Yeah.
But I don't know how. That's original content.
But it's the original track music playing in the back.
But it's him singing over it.
I know. I don't know how strict they are. It's the only thing that makes sense.
Okay, well, don't do any more music videos until you find out how I can get permission for that. Okay, hit stop streaming.